you guys attribute to the slow start today?
They're a good football team. And the turnovers, you know, I don't think I don't know if we were weak to start. You know, it was a new kick. You know, I thought we had a great week of practice. I thought we had good walkthrough before year, but, you know, for one reason or another, we give them credit. You know, they've got a bunch of seniors and they're a good football team. But, you know, interception, fumble, drop punt, just we can't have it.
What do you say to Lad today when he's going through kind of one of those rough first halves, kind of uncharacteristic for him?
Hey, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do? It doesn't matter. It's already happened. We got a good defense. They're gonna go out there and hopefully stop them. If they don't, then what are we gonna do?
Stetson, Kirby talked so much about playing to the standard and things like that. Was this a case of y'all not playing to the standard today, or was it more of Kent State's a better team than they were given credit for? Like, what, as far as the standard goes, what do you think about today?
You can't turn the ball over 3 times. You know, we didn't punt, right? Not once. Had over 500 yards of offense, scored 39 points. You know, we had a good day. We just 3 turnovers, almost, you know, consecutively. Like, boom, 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 all in the first half. You can't have that, right? But we still scored. We scored in the first half, 24, 20, something like that. You know, so. And they're a good team, right? They're, like I said earlier, I don't know what you guys said, like how good they were or what, but you know, they're good.
Stetson, what happened on the interception?
Probably should have laid it out a little bit more. You know, I think Mark's probably got to run a little bit more. But dude was above Mark, saw it, took eyes, undercut it, and picked it off. It was a good play, but gotta fix it.
What did Kirby say to you guys in the locker room at halftime?
At halftime? I can't remember. I don't remember what he just said.
What did he say?
He said they're a good football team, and you know we had some miscues, but he said we didn't play. We can't turn the ball over 3 times. You know, the 39-22 against a good football team. Again, you know, I told their head coach they're a really good football team.
So you were talking about the slow start. Were you kind of surprised that you guys did start slow, especially after Brock's touchdown on that? I think that was the second play of the game.
I don't know about surprise, and again, I don't know about starting slow. We turned the ball over 3 times. Right? Again, we didn't have to punt. We had to kick too many field goals, but that was a penalty, and I missed that throw to Mark. But other than that, you know, we played well. There's just little things where not quite as dialed in, maybe, but you don't really know until you go play.
As a quarterback, how reassuring is it to have a guy like Brock who can seemingly create a big play out of nothing?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a guy like that where you can throw in the ball or throw him a quick pass or hand the ball off to him, and he has a chance to, you know, go the distance and it's special. But everybody sees Brock and everybody sees Brock run. But they don't see his Mark outside, you know, blocking, everybody blocking their butts off, right? And then, are you going to make one person miss? And Brock made one person miss, but everybody else was blocked and accounted for, which is part of the selflessness of this team that I think everybody takes pride in.
You finally play a snap in the fourth quarter. How big do you think that last touchdown drive there he is? You know, 10-point game, still up in the air at that point. How big do you think it was for this offense to go out there and finally display that when we needed that play?
I think it was big because we did, and I'm glad we didn't have to punt that last week. I told him before we went out there the last time, I said either we score or the ball ends in our hands. Right? We did that. So it was a really good drive. And Coach Smart said sometimes you do need to win out there, and I agree with that. But you'd rather, right?
What do you learn from the red zone issues, big signs, things you need to work on?
We had the hands to the face. Yeah. And I mean that's tough. That's tough to do. And then had some quick pressure. They had good blitz on the one I got sacked on. And then the ball slipped out of my hands on the one to Mark. But I mean overall I think they didn't stop us really. We stopped ourselves through whether turnovers or penalties or missed throws. But I mean again, they've got that rover in the middle playing good ball. It's a different defense. We were ready for it and we practiced for it, which 500 yards and nearly 40 points is, I mean, it's a good day at the office, but you do want to
I'm just wondering this, is, Coach Smart has said you guys needed to flex your composure muscle at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you expect to be, is there anything on a good thing about having to grind it out, like having to play in the fourth quarter and getting a 75-yard drive?
Right. You've got, I always pride myself in going next play, but, you got DB Dylan Bell out there who's never won a game by, we've gone to Oregon, Stanford, South Carolina, and that's the only games he's seen, right? And just a lot of Malachi, right? So whenever you get to see that, like, hey, the world's not always perfect, right? I think it does help, right? Obviously, we're going to prepare and try to be perfect, but it does help to see it.
Two-part question. You said the interception was slipped out of your hand.
No, it was the third down to Marcus.
What about the interception? What happened on that play?
It was a little bit of miscommunication between me and Mark. Not miscommunication, just different understanding of where we're at.
Did you need to tell Lad to pick it up? I mean, not pick it up, but like, keep your head up.
Yeah. And I told him, I was like, hey, dude, like, what are you going to do next, right? I'm going to keep going to you. And I think it's important to go after him. He did drop the match for a touchdown, but it's what are you going to do next, right? People make mistakes, people screw up, but you're a good football player, and you got good football players around you, right? That's what I told myself, after the pick. You're going to be pissed. It's like, hey, give me 30 seconds. I'm going to be pissed real quick, and then it's over. And that's what I told him. He made up for it in the second half, and came back and made a lot of plays.
What is the teammates' reactions when they see Brock outrunning guys in secondary who have an angle on it? Not the second point.
I'd say it's probably Georgia Tech last year. It was like, whoa. And this year it's like, yeah, it's a good play.
Oh, so you've come to expect it.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
He's got. Is it a challenge every week to find new ways to get him the ball and have as much attention as he's getting?
I mean, they play their defense like most people play their defense. I'm sure they key it some way, but just get the ball in his hands. Speed sweeps, not that hard to just get it to him. And with the way we're blocking on the perimeter right now, it's easy. But I usually do that.
How is he that effective? I mean, he's not the tallest guy. He's not like a 40 guy.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I don't have to tackle him. But people just seem to bounce off of him, and they seem to kind of, I don't know if they underestimate how fast he is, but he runs away from folks. And he's got long legs, he's strong, and once he gets going, and he loves football. He blocks for his teammates whenever he doesn't get the ball, and then in turn, his teammates block for him when he gets the ball, and he usually makes one first downs.
Before coming into this game, what did you know about Kent State, and after playing against them, what would you say about them now?
What do you mean by that?
Like, I guess from like a little bit of everything, what did you assess about the team before coming into these games?
We knew they were a good team and they were disciplined, and they did their job pretty much every play. They had a funky defense playing middle safety, 3-down look, but they switched that up and played a little bit more 4-down this game. But I respect them. They played well. They played hard on both sides of the ball. They didn't back down. They can play. I think their coach recruited me in high school. And so we spoke up from them. They're good football team.
Was the downfield passing an emphasis coming in, or was it something they were doing?
It was just that was the way that we were going to get the ball, right? Because they had a lot of times they only rush them 3, and they had 5 underneath. And so we were trying to scheme them up with how their defense was going, and so that was just there. They decided it was supposed to.
Stetson, did you say anything to McConkey maybe in the half or after the game? First half, very characteristic.
Yeah, just like keep your head up, and it's the next play. Everybody makes mistakes. Let's get to the next one.
So at the beginning of the week, Chris Smith said that Brock Bowers was by far the most consistent player he's ever been around. Would you agree with that? As far as consistency is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really, really good. I'd have to think about it before I said the most ever, forever. He's really good.
One more minute, please. One more minute.
Was it a wake-up call today? Do you feel like the just as good for the younger players' adversity?
I think it's, you know, the freshmen who've only seen 3 games ever, you know, were the keys in the world. You didn't work with them, and there's a good football team, right? And Kent's a really good football team. So, yeah, I mean, it is good for any young guys to see adversity and like, hey, if you don't execute here, right, there's going to be problems.
You haven't thrown interceptions since the SEC championship game. Major props to you on that play, would you say?
DB made a good play. Him, me and Mark were a little bit, I don't want to say that. He made a good play.
Kirby talks about playing to a standard. How do you think that the team did or didn't play to that standard today?
We turned the ball over too much, and red zone, there were some issues, but you know, 15-yard penalty in the red zone is tough to overcome on first downs on 5. That's hard. And then I missed Marcus on 1, and we had a sack on 1. But I'm probably forgetting something. You know, overall, I thought we played well. There was a little bit of a feeling of not, you know, let's go, but I don't know. And it's hard to say without watching the film. 500 yards of offense and 40 points.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.